This is Garry. He just spent 50 days infiltrating Vlandia. This is what happened. Garry was born into a wealthy family of Botanians. In his youth, he worked as an undercover guard in a local tavern of Maranoth. Here is where he learned how to blend in and not draw attention to himself. King Caladog heard of his deeds and invited him into his throne room. Garry approached the mighty king and was asked to join the garrison of Maranoth as an undercover militia sussing out spies from other kingdoms. He accepted the generous offer and was even offered a very appealing wage. Garry took his job seriously and prevented several attacks on Botania. After a few years passed, Caladog invited him again into his throne room. Garry, feeling a sense of deja vu, approached Caladog once again. This time, he asked something greater. He wanted Garry to infiltrate the Vlandian Empire and cause disruption in their kingdom. Knowing how spies were treated when caught, Garry was hesitant, so he asked for a few days to consider the request. Heading to the tavern for a well-needed drink, thoughts were rushing through his head. He slept on it and then made his decision. He approached Caladog once again and agreed to his request. Caladog then told him if he succeeded in his operation, he would come back to a fief of his own. This was Garry's dream, a fief he could call his own, a place he could raise a family safely. And this is where the journey begins. Equipped with a few troops and a loyal companion by his side, Garry rode off into the unknown. After a few days' ride, he reached Galend, the capital of Vlandia. He headed into the tavern to devise a plan. First, he needed to establish himself and his clan. Second, he needed friends in Vlandia. Thirdly, he needed a way to escape if things go bad. After carefully examining his options, he was ready. Day 1 begins with hunting down looters and bandits in and around Vlandian towns. This gave him reputation and relations with local villages. Day 2, he started to complete tasks for headmen in the villages. Day 3, bandit camps were his next move, clearing out the rats inside and providing safer routes for traders. Day 4, he decided to start gathering intel on the nobles. The tavern keep provided this information for a certain fee. Day 5 to 10 was all about tournaments. Whilst competing in these, he got a feel for the nobles and how proficient they were with the weapons, whilst also collecting prizes that gave a good amount of dinars. Day 11, and it was time to sign a mercenary contract. Day 12 to 15 was all about licking noble arse, helping them defeat their enemies and saving them from slaughter. Day 13, Vlandia started to siege towns and castles. If Garry was to keep up his cover, he had to help. Day 14 to 20, he kept increasing his reputation and relation with nobles, with battles giving him victory after victory. Day 21, he was finally ready to become a vassal. He approached the king of Vlandia, Dirthurt, and pledged his allegiance. Day 22 to 30, Vlandia was waging war, and Garry was right in the middle of it. Siege after siege, he was taking castles and towns in Vlandia's name. Dirthurt noticed his actions and gifted him a fief. On day 30, something unexpected happened. Whilst out on patrol, he noticed the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. Her name was Sylvind. Day 31, he was fighting his inner demons. Was this love at first sight? He can't let his emotions get in the way. He has a job to do, and Caladog is counting on him. Day 32 to 40, He kept up his acts of violence, causing destruction throughout Calradia. But a mistake was made. He was lost in the blood and death all around him, and she was on his mind. He underestimated an enemy party and was captured and taken prisoner. Day 41 to 42, he spent being dragged around, chains on his ankles, until he was thrown into a dungeon. He took this opportunity to reflect on his mission, but all he could think about was Sylvind. Day 43, he escaped and rushed back to Vlandia. Day 44, he needed to find her and see if she even felt the same way. Day 45, he approached Sylvind and they flirted all night long, talking of politics and war, but also their plans for a family. Day 46, he realised that he needed her in his life and went through the procedures of marriage with her clan leader. Day 47, he married her. The ceremony was beautiful and nearly all of Vlandia came to support their marriage. Garry had never felt a sense of belonging quite like it. Day 48, Garry and Sylvind spent talking, laughing, and getting to know each other on a deeper level. Day 49, she fell pregnant. On day 50, a letter arrived for Garry from King Caladog. Garry started to panic. He had lost sight of what he was here to do. The letter read, "Dear Garry, I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing to invite you to a meeting of individuals with an extraordinary reputation. If attended, you will be under full immunity. Please consider this invitation, and I hope I will see you there. Sincerely, King Caladog of Britannia." Garry instantly starts to assume the worst. Is this an invitation to his own funeral? What if he wants him to pull out the mission? How can he leave his wife and baby behind? His wife, not knowing the full picture, insists he goes and suggests that it will be a fun venue. Garry turns over the letter and sees, "P.S. Bring your wife."